Assalamu alaikum and warm welcome to all the dear viewers. Today I am back with yet another interesting topic, that is informal letter writing. There is a slight difference between formal letter writing and informal letter writing, and that difference is just in terms of words. There is no dress change, there is no home change, office change, etc. There is only a word change. So let us first take the definition of informal letter. Informal letter. As I have already told you that a letter is actually a non-fictional communication. Non-fictional. In informal letter, there is also a non-fictional communication. Non-fictional. Non-fictional communication. But one thing you have to remember. In formal letter, we use words in a professional way, in a formal way. Here, in informal letter, we use words in a casual way, in a simple way, as if we are before each other. Like we say hello and hi, how are you? It means a conversation like style. You are before me this time. I say, how are you? I am inquiring about your health. This letter should look like the way I tell you. Non-fictional communication using casual and simple language. Here you should not be confused that casual language means impolite language. Never. We use polite language in formal letter, a serious language, a professional language. Here in informal letter, we also use polite language, but that is very simple and that is very casual. So talking between conversation between a friend and friend should differ from the conversation between a person and an officer. There should be a gap between it. Now, next point is to whom we address. To whom we address these informal letters. This is the point for you. Informal letters are addressed to, they are written to friends, relatives, and acquaintances. Acquaintances. When you write a letter to your friend, to your nephew, to your niece, to your mother, grandmother, father, uncle, it means that you are writing an informal letter. Now, second important point is, why do we write them? Why do we write them? What is the purpose of writing informal letters? Informal letters, you were taught that these letters are written to put your grievance, your concern before a concerned officer, so that this concern can be resolved for you. In informal letter, we just put our emotions before our friends. to give them the home news, to give them the home news. Or sometimes it may be, if you want to invite your friend, you write a letter to him. So we can say to invite friends or to congratulate them, to congratulate a friend or a relative. Congratulate a friend or a relative. Or simply sometimes you offer your suggestion, your advice in the form of a letter written to a friend or a relative. That is informal letter. So in informal letter, we just are concerned with two things. Number first, to whom we address these letters to our friends, our relatives, and acquaintances. Why do we write these letters? We write these letters to express our emotions, to give somebody the home news, to invite a friend, sometimes to congratulate a friend or a relative, or sometimes to offer our suggestions. Now, point number 3, an important point about this informal letter is format of an informal letter. 6 point, just 6 point format. First starts with sender's address. Sender's address means your address. If you are writing an informal letter to a friend or a relative or acquaintance, it means it is your address. It generally consists of 2 lines or 3 lines. But if you are taking exam from the examination hall, you can just write 1 line like this: examination hall. 1 line is enough, examination hall. But if you are outside the examination hall, you have to write address like this: Mir Mohalla, Ward 6 or 5, Yaru. 2 line or 3 line address. Then you have to drop a line, because now we are writing date line. Second point in informal letter is date line. In formal letter, there is sender's address. In informal letter, there is also sender's address. Date in formal letter as well as in informal letter. So second point is date line. Date. Date of writing the letter. Date of writing the letter. Now your only concern should be how to write the date. What is the perfect format? Perfect format is date, month, year. 1 second, month, date, year. Like 16th January 2024, or we can say that January 16, 2024. This is point number second. 1, 2. Sender's address and date. But you have to drop 1 line. Then, in formal letters, we have got receiver's address. The receiver's address. For example, the zonal education officer, Langate. the Chief Medical Officer, Kopara. Here in informal letter, there is no receiver's address. Direct we come to salutation. Point number 3 is salutation. 1, 2, 3. Point number 3 is salutation. Dear. If it is two words, salutation, first word starts with capital, second word also starts with capital. If it is three word salutation, for example, my dear friend, then first word begins with the capital letter and the last word begins with the capital letter. The word in between begins with the small letter. This is point number 3. Now, point number 4. Here on this part of the board, keep a focus because this is our goal post. We have to reach there. Salutation. Dear friend, my dear friend. This is salutation. Number 4 is body. Main content of the letter. Body is the main content of the letter. Now we shall discuss about it. How it should look like, what should be in this body. As I have told you that we are writing an informal letter. So our language must be informal, it must be simple, it must be casual. But it never means it can be or it should be impolite. We have to use polite language. But that polite language must be expressed in simpler words. In message, in body, you can use words like hi. Sometimes you can use words like hello. You can attach inquiry line like how are you. This is called inquiry line, inquiry about health. When you are inquiring about health of somebody or a friend, what do you say? You say how are you. These words, these expressions are used in the body because it should look like that somebody at whom you are communicating is just before you. You are chatting with each other. This is what is called informal language. Body of the letter, as I have already told you, it consists of paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. Paras, 3. First para must introduce. Here is no subject. In informal letter, there is no subject. We have to introduce in such a way that the person to whom we are addressing should feel as if he is talking before me. He is before my eyes. He is not far away. He is not at a distance. For example, somebody writing from Jammu and her mother is very worried about him or her. He or she should write a letter in such a style that mother at the home should feel, she should feel at home. She should not feel sick. She should not feel grieved that my son or my daughter is away from me. That should be the tone, that should be the style of the writing. Now, after body, we have got subscription. One after dropping one line. Here, point number 5, after completing the body. Subscription or complementary closing. Subscription or we can say it as complementary closing, subscription or complementary closing. We write it as yours sincerely, sincerely, yours lovingly, yours lovingly, or best regards, best regards, or you can say kind regards, kind regards, or you can say yours affectionately, yours affectionately, but not yours faithfully, because you are not writing informal letter, you are writing an informal letter. So your subscription or your complimentary closing must refer to the fact that you are writing an informal letter. Now, and after this complimentary closure or subscription, simply point number 6 is your name, name of sender of the letter, name of sender of the letter, name of sender of the letter. That much written. Now, our main goal is to solve this question according to the format that I have taught you. My mother is very worried. Have a look at the board. My mother is your mother, means my mother is very worried since you are not, your mother is very worried since you are not at home and has been on a week long school trip, excursion, picnic trip means excursion or picnic, school trip to Jammu. You are Gibran. You are Gibran. Write a letter to your mother sharing your well being. Sharing your well being means you have to write that I am all okay. There is nothing to be worried about me. Sharing your well being and what you have experienced so far. Our first concern should be to write sender's address. For example, we are taking exam and we are in the examination hall, so we must write only one line, that is examination hall. Examination hall. If you are outside the examination hall, you have to write 3 lines, starting with mohalla, then your ward or lane or street number, then the locality, the habitation in which you are living, you have to put that. For example, Mir Mohalla, Ward 6 or Lane 6, Yaro, Lingate, etc. But this line is sufficient for you when you are taking exam. In examination hall, you can write examination hall. Now, this line should be followed by date line after dropping a line. Here, we have to drop a line. Here we can write. Here we can write date. For example, it is 20 June. 20 June. We are just imagining it 2023. Because date is not given. In this question, date is not given. neither address is given. These two things are to be imagined. इसको हमें imagine करना है, खुद लिखना है, और accurate लिखना है. अच्छा. Now, point number third is salutation. To whom we are writing a letter? What should we answer? My dear friend. A question well understood means it is half done. जिसने सवाल ही समझा नहीं वो क्वेश्चन नहीं कर पाएगा. You have to read it with understanding. You are writing a letter to your mother, so you can say here, dear mother. After dropping a line, dear mother. Hi, how are you? Note of. Now pay an attention, just for some moments. You for us. When I say hi, how are you? Don't you mean that somebody is before you? When you are before me, I can say, hi, how are you? It means that you are giving an impression to your mother that I am well before you. I am not far away. I am not at a distance. You should not worry about me at all. That is the language, that is the informal language, casual language, simple language. So, this type of language cannot be used while communicating with an officer. I am writing this letter. I am writing this letter to inform you that I am all hale and healthy. I am writing this letter to you to inform you that I am all hale and healthy. Because you have to kill the worries of your mother. As the situation of the question suggests that she is very worried, very much worried. These lines, first lines, will help her to be stable. Hi, how are you? I am writing this letter to inform you that I am all hale and healthy. There is nothing to be worried about. There is nothing to be worried about. Now, after the introductory paragraph, we shall try to explain our present position at Jammu. I am undergoing wonderful experiences at Jammu. I am undergoing wonderful experience at Jammu. For which I have prepared an for which I have prepared an album means a book containing your pictures. That's called album. I have created or I have prepared an album. I am coming home or I am coming back very soon. Last paragraph. Pay my compliments to Papa. Pay my compliments to Papa. And also remember, for example, you are having siblings at your home. Siblings means brothers, sisters. Yes, brothers and sisters. Pay my compliments to Papa and also remember me to Nisha and Ashik and Mansoor. Pay my compliments to Papa and also remember me to Nisha and Mansoor. See you very soon. See you very soon. This is the closing line of hope. See you very soon. Now, after dropping a line, you can close the letter with the complimentary closing like you are writing a letter to your mother. 1 minute. Have a serious look at the board. Your salutation can decide your complimentary closing. You are writing a letter to your mother, so you should write. After leaving a line, you should write here. You are loving. Very good. Loving. You cannot write your sincere friend. Yours sincerely. Yours affectionately. You can write your loving son because you are writing a letter as son. That is how we completed this task. Now, here, question number 2. Under the heading test yourself, you have to test yourself at your home. You were taken ill while taking your exams in Pune. You are out of pocket. There is nobody to help you. You are out of pocket means you are having no money with you. To help you out there, write a letter to your friend residing in Amritsar, requesting him to send you rupees 5,000. Inshallah, we shall take up this question in the next session tomorrow. That's called a practice session.